I love it when a plan comes together. I told you it was coming. Here it is. Taylor's GT in all Koa. It's the GT K21e. I'm going to tell you all about it. Stay tuned. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store linked below for custom designed t-shirts, like our storefront shirt that shows off our storefront we've been in since the 1960s. How cool is that? Well, since the 1970s, Taylor's been making epic guitars, improving along the way, getting better and better. Recently, they introduced the new GT body shape, and I told you when it first came out that this guitar is too good to stay kind of just in that price point, and I anticipated Taylor would be doing more body woods and kind of series with the GT body shape. Well, turns out I was right, and that was by no inside information. It's just kind of logical. If you have a guitar that good, you're going to do more with it. And so the first one that we saw come out right out of the gate was the GT811e, which we've done a video on. If you would like to see either of those, make sure you click the links below, or just check out our timelines and whatnot on YouTube for those various playlists. But the 811 showed that Taylor was taking that GT body shape seriously. They're going to have a lot of fun with this fun little guitar. And this is the newest one being introduced for NAMM 2021. It's, of course, different this year. We're not in California. Everything's virtual. And yet, new great guitars are still coming out. So, new for 2021 is this. It is the GT K21e. So the naming for these body shapes is always going to, at this point, begin with GT to denote this new body shape. We'll see if that continues to remain the same throughout the life of the instruments. But that tells you right off the bat that this is part of this new body shape that really is not just a shape, but a lot going on with it, and we'll cover that as we have in other videos for you if you are learning about this for the first time. But it is also part of the Koa series, which is the K in the name. And we love Koa guitars here at Alamo Music. I know you guys love Koa guitars. I know that because we sell an awful lot of them. Taylor sells an awful lot of them. It's just a fantastic tone wood. And I mean, you can see why. It's beautiful. You know, it is gorgeous wood, but that alone really wouldn't do it. The great thing about Koa is that it has attributes of so many different tone woods kind of all in one. It's almost like this jack of all trades. You've got some wonderful mid-range, you've got some nice treble snap, you've got great overtones, and it gets bassier in the low mid as it ages, really getting warmer. But when you put a Koa top on a Koa guitar, the combination is really fantastic. It gives you this wonderful warmth, this punchy mid-range, and a compression that allows you to have controlled dynamics with increased sustain. And that is just really fantastic in a small body guitar like this. And so, you know, I'm glad that they've kind of taken Koa wood, particularly an all Koa guitar, which I'm such a big fan of, and done a GT body shape in it. And for many people who have like a Koa GS Mini and have always wondered what a small body that was all Koa would sound like, here you go. This is it. And just like the GS Mini, if you've ever played one, you've probably had this experience. You sat down and you played it and you went, how is so much sound coming out of such a little guitar? That's what's happening here. There is really almost a curiosity of physics. How is so much sound coming out of such a little guitar? Well, let's talk about what the little guitar is, just to recap for you. The GT body shape was basically announced last year in the fall, and it is that idea of if you're taking something like a GS Mini and you want to make it all solid wood, what does it look like? And for Andy Powers, the GS Mini was just a little too small to do that. If you're going to bring solid wood into the equation, you have to make it a little bit bigger. So this is a little bit bigger than the GS Mini. But there's also some things happening under the hood. You know, all US-made tailors up to this point have had V-class bracing since it was introduced and kind of filtered through the line. This does not. The GT bodies are the first US-made tailors that have moved away from V-class since it was introduced to a new shape or new bracing pattern called C-class. It's a cantilevered bracing pattern that has it's almost like half a V-brace. So instead of two bracing, two long braces coming up, you have one and then some additional support braces. What this does is it allows this little body, this little guitar, to really have a big voice. It resonates. It has some just wonderful sustain and structure to it because of that C-class architecture, but it really allows it to punch above its weight class, kind of like that GS Mini before it. It just sounds bigger. By doing that and then bringing solid wood back and sides along with the top and the new bracing, there's some other cool things like solid guitar lining. If you've ever looked inside your acoustic guitar, you'll see this kind of cut wood that goes around the edge of the perimeter, and that's there to give more of a gluing surface to adhere the back and the sides and the top together. Well, that's called kerfling, specifically because those cuts are called kerfs. They're not all the way through, and it allows this flexible wood to just kind of go in and be glued into place. In this guitar, it's solid wood, and that's usually something that we see on custom-made instruments from like small operations where a luthier is there having to bend that solid wood instead of using the pre-cut kerfling that'll just kind of bend to whatever shape you want it to be. And that's even on the the GT11, the introduction model of GT, if you will. And so that's a really cool feature that a lot of people aren't going to see, but you now know about it. And if you buy one of these and look in the guitar, you'll see what I'm talking about. So when you take the C-class cantilevered bracing, the solid guitar lining, the back bracing, and the slightly larger body shape, it all combines in this fantastic recipe of a great little guitar that defies the odds and expectations that most guitarists would bring to it. Now that moves us to what else is going on this guitar. Because see, the idea behind this guitar is that it's not what we would typically consider a travel size guitar. And it doesn't really fall into the category that we would typically call a full size guitar. And you might call it like in the category of parlor, but it's Taylor's own unique shape that's doing its own thing. And when you put that in consideration, you realize that the Goldilocks aspects of the neck really are where this guitar kind of comes to life in your hands. So the neck scale length is actually right between a GS Mini and a full-size guitar, okay? The nut width also is right between what you'd have in a GS Mini, which is 1/11/16, and a full-size Taylor, typically that would be 1 3/4 inches, okay? It's just fractional differences, but it makes a difference. And then the neck shape is different and unique to this guitar as well. All of that combines to a fantastic feel in the hand. It's got a lightness to it. The frets are just a little bit closer together. The strings are just a little bit lighter feeling. The neck is just a tiny, tiny fraction of an inch, narrower, but not too narrow. And I'll put this in personal context for you. When we first started doing these videos, I'm very used to a 1 3/4 inch nut width on an acoustic guitar. All of the acoustic guitars that I own have a 1 3/4 inch nut width. It's what I'm comfortable playing. But and I take that back. I have a GS Mini and it's 1 11/16. So I play that occasionally, but I'm more used to a wider nut width. And that's even a fraction of an inch difference, but it matters. Well, when we first started doing these videos, I would play a song on one of those guitars that had a narrower nut width, maybe like a 114. And as I was going up the neck, sometimes I would pull the high E string off of the edge of the fretboard by accident. Now, if I mentally prepared myself and went back and just kind of reminded myself as I was playing that I had to be extra careful with my finger placement because it was a narrower neck than I'm used to, then I was fine. But I had to kind of mentally prepare myself. With this guitar, there's something kind of uncanny about it. By being in that sweet spot, I don't even notice it. I don't think about it. It feels just as comfortable as a wider nut width, and people who've played who are used to the narrower nut widths say it feels just as comfortable as those. And so, it really is about trying to find that sweet spot for you. Being comfortable, being intimate, having a big voice, that's what this guitar is all about. Now, with the Koa series, it brings the other Koa kind of appointments, the aesthetics and the other appointments along with it. So you get, of course, the all Koa wood. You get the rock maple binding on it. You get the Koa series vine inlay. And one of my favorite things is the Goto Tuners. Neither of the other two GT models have this. Of course, you could always switch out your tuners, but the Goto Tuners are just the best tuners there are for a modern style guitar. You can argue that maybe Goto or Schaller's open back tuners on vintage models are also fantastic, but I mean, I want to change every single tuner on every acoustic guitar I have to these, and I've already done it on two, and I have one that came with it. Like, these are the bee's knees as far as I'm concerned. You can upgrade it on Taylor's. It's a standard model option on most guitars, and I think it's worth it because, and here's what it is: they look great, but they have a very high ratio, which means for every turn of this, 21 to 1, for every turn of this, the post turns one time. And so what that means is, or in this it's 118 because they're smaller, but what that means is that you get very fine tuning. Okay, some tuners on the market are 1 to 12, 1 to 14. 1 to 18 or 1 to 21 allows you to really dial in that note because you're making subtle changes with the tuning post. And that may sound like a small thing, but it's a really, really big thing when you care about being in tune. So it's a fantastic guitar. I've told you all about it. These do come with the ES2, and I'm going to play it for you now so you can see what I'm talking about. Really big sound, really comfortable little guitar. Check it out. So there you have it. Taylor's new GT K21e has joined the lineup new for 2021. Now I'm going to give you a PSA, a public service announcement. We are likely, no, I guarantee we will continue to see supply constraints throughout 2021. As we move beyond the pandemic, manufacturers start catching up on backlogs and are able to run at full tilt in their factories once again. That being said, Alamo Music Center has ordered quite a few of these GT K21es, but they will not all come in at one time. So we have this up on our website for you to pre-order if you want to get one. This is called queuing or getting in line. So if you are interested in getting a K21e this year, I will say two things for you. First of all, you will not be disappointed. This is a fantastic guitar. Two, please go pre-order one. And then please be patient. We are working very closely with Taylor. They are fantastic partners, and we will get you guitars as soon as we possibly can. The sooner that you order, the sooner you will get one. That is my promise to you. So how do you do that? Go to alamomusic.com. You can click on the link for this guitar specifically actually below in the description, and you'll be able to place a pre-order there, or you can give us a call and have a conversation about it if you have any questions or concerns, want to do financing, things like that. We're here to help you out. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. We are here for you to help you find the very best guitar that meets your needs, because we want you making music with it. At the end of the day, the very best guitar in the world is the one that you're playing. That's our philosophy. I hope you agree with it. Keep coming back for more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Once again, you guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want to learn more about the guitar, check out Alamo Music. Oh, Pat.
Hey everybody, I love guitar videos just like you do. But guess what? Alamo Music Center has another YouTube channel. You can check out all the piano and keyboard reviews that we have and see more of me. Cooper, do we have another one of those? He's fine.